Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a circuit that demands absolute precision, bravery, and just a little bit of luck. Tonight I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, and it's green here at the Miami Autodromo Internazionale. Side by side, there goes Sean Stam, the Stam Man, and the 000 as well. Papa Green made up 3 positions in 2 laps. With Leslie Simpkins now throws his elbows out at Drew.
From the heart of Sao Paulo, Brazil, we welcome you to one of the most iconic battlegrounds in the world of motorsport. The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, better known as Interlagos. Tonight, the Degenerate Race League rolls into a circuit built on rhythm, commitment, and chaos. Interlagos may be short on lap time, but it's massive on opportunity. From the downhill charge into the Senna S's to the heavy braking zone at turn 4. The long climb back towards the start-finish line. This place rewards drivers who can attack without overstepping. In GT3 machinery, that balance becomes everything. The cars will be fighting for traction through the middle sector, hunting slipstream down the straights, and looking for any chance to send it under braking. Traffic, tire wear, and patience will all play a role. But make no mistake, at Interlagos, patience only lasts until the next passing zone. The Degenerate Race League has delivered close racing, bold moves, and plenty of drama all season long. Tonight, under the Brazilian sky, the championship fight continues on one of racing's greatest stages, GT3s at Interlagos. It's time to go racing. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday here in Sao Paulo. Partly cloudy skies with a track temperature of 27 degrees, air temperature at 22 degrees, with 15 corners, 5 to the right, 10 to the left, and elevation change of around 134 feet. Drivers are have to contend with a track length of 2.67 miles or 4.3 kilometers. Local cautions only called, fuel limit being limited to around 50%, one fast repair for the drivers. Tonight I'm your host, Dr. Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag. I believe this will be our penultimate time together as we bring this championship to a close. Couple keys to the race tonight. The opening sector is the biggest danger zone on lap 1, and during restarts, drivers need to be aggressive enough to hold position, but smart enough to not get pinched through turns 1 and 2. A bad exit here can kill the run all the way towards turn 4. Of course, we have to maximize that exit coming out of turn 12 of Zhangkao. It's the money corner, the money maker. A clean launch out of turn 12 sets up the entire drag to the line and creates passing chances into turn 1, where wheel spin, oversteer, or running wide here can make a driver sitting duck. Managing the rear tires in the middle sector, because it asks a lot, especially through the slower technical middle sector. GT3 drivers who overdrive early will pay for it late in the run with poor traction and slow exits. And key number 4 is to pick those battles wisely. Pick the right battle at the right time with multiple heavy braking zones and plenty of slipstream. Drivers do not need to force every move. The right moves or the smart racers will pressure opponents into mistakes, set up passes over multiple corners, and avoid getting dragged into unnecessary side-by-side fights through the twisty section. Drivers getting their qualifying laps completed at this point in time. And Tross trickles in to P9 with a 132.727 on that last attempt. Can Andy Jackson stitch it together as well on his run currently? Andy Jackson running in P15 for the time being, but I know that's not where he wants to sit for too long as he tries to work his way forward through the qualifying order. He hugs the pit road all the way to the left-hand side. Where does Jackson fall? P3 is good enough for him right now with 5 minutes left to go on the clock in the qualifying session. You can't be too upset about that charge from P17 to the top of the grid. Jackson with a little bit of understeer coming through turn 6 and turn 7 of Lorana. And he gets it promptly put down for turn 8 and turn 9 of Pinero. Coming to the top of the key at turn 10. Again, another hard braking zone that demands a lot from the rear tires. Getting through that traction zone is very important. Here's the critical moment we were talking about in this race. Getting the exit out of turn 12 right is super important because it leads all the way onto the front straight. A little bit of overdriving there from Jackson as he lights up the rear end. Traction not taking care of him as it should. The 97 gets it to the line. Let's see what he can do to improve. He'll be the last of the qualifiers. And it won't be anything because he comes down pit road. Andy Jackson calling it done for now. Take a look at the championship points. Tyler Finley leads with 150 and just 10 in front of Andrew Jackson. Morgan Dino in third with 140 points, tied with Jackson. Alex Hansen in fourth, just 3 points adrift from the guys up ahead. Ryan Barkins in fifth, Corey Pastro, Evans Vorg, Doug Sorrentino, Juan Cruz, Gavin Cook round out the top 10. Looking further back, Zach Armstrong, Michael Tross, Amrit Vestrala, Daniel Serpak, Sam Bozak, Jeremy Dunn, Mitch Narati, Ross Twiddell, Austin Quinn, Casey Grant, Russell Stanford, Kurt Hubert, Dave Sefarth, Chris Black, Michael Brown, Jim Kelly, Matthew Warwas, Blake Galvin, Michael Choate, Silas Jansen, Frederick Powell, Colin Baker, Tony McAnally, Jake Almond, Kyle Hurst, Sam Zawiska, Brian Hoskins, Donovan Edwards, Harsh Singh, Jason Hayes, Pierce Fox, and Tyler Morgan, rounding out the 42 drivers taking to this championship thus far. Hello, Mr. Hansen. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for being tuned, as always, my good friend. Back in 1985, to honor Jose Carlos Pace, a Brazilian F1 driver who won his only Grand Prix at Interlagos in 75, but tragically died in a plane crash in 77, led to the track being renamed. The original 1940 layout was a massive 8 kilometers nearly, 4.94 miles, featuring long sweeping corners, but was shortened to 2.677 miles in 1990 to meet some modern safety standards. Just finishing up the session now. Let's get the results up from qualifying, shall we? Tyler Finley took pole and in the lead of the championship. That's going to help him out a lot. Ryan Barkins in second. Andy Jackson in third. Corey Pastro, Alex Hansen, Russ Money McMillian, Amrit Vastrala, Pierce Fox, Gav Cook, and Michael Trost round out our top 10. Taking a look at our grid, it'll be Finley and Barkins on that first row, and then it'll be Andy Jackson and Corey Pastro. Further back, it'll be on row 4, Amit Vastrala and Pierce Fox. Aligning the further back, it'll be Gav Cook and Michael Trost on the row 5. Row 6 belonging to Dave Sifrath and Jake Almond. Or number 7 for Daniel Serpak and Juan Cruz. Number 8 is going to go to Mitch Nairati and Casey Grant. Row number 9 for Colin Baker and Ross Twiddell. Row number 10 for Tony McAnally and Tyler Morgan. Row number 11 for Kurt Huber and Mike Brown. Number 12 for Sam Zawiska and Christian. I'm not even going to try. Getting ready to take the green lights here at Interlagos. It'll be a long run behind the pace car, but a quick lap for the drivers. Trying to generate as much heat as they can into those tires coming out of the final corner. Tyler Finley bobs and weaves every which way to try to generate something. Here we go for the race start. Finley and Barkins on that front row. And green flag is in the air. Finley takes off and builds a 3/10 gap. Jackson further back is going to have to defend a little bit as the inside line is occupied by Ryan Evan Hader Barkins. Coming through the Senna S's, everybody's making through green and clean, and nobody was involved in any argy-bargy except for here and now. A little 3 wide action coming down the front stretch and towards the braking zone of turn 4. Drivers try to make moves happen as best as they can, but there goes Andy Jackson tumbling down the order at the exit of turn 4. Let's see what happened here to Jackson side by side. The 97 goes to the inside line, but goes a little too far and gets a tank slapper, and that's all she wrote. Just in a little bit of trouble right now. Jake Almond and Juan Cruz right behind. Corey Pastro up into third place currently. Has a little bit of work to do to catch up to Ryan Barkins, excuse me, in P2 as Finley escapes up the road about 1 second now, as he's 2 seconds a lap faster than the rest of the field on the opening run. That's impressive. Russ here engaged in combat with Pierce Fox and Gav Cook in tow. Up the inside, the look there from Gav Cook right now is on very much to the number 20 of Russ Money. But will he act on his advantage through the infield section? I don't think he can just yet. Corey Pastro chases down Barkins up the road, and Barkins is going to go defensive here and now coming in towards turn one. But there goes Pastro through and through up into fourth place, seemingly making that one look easy. Mitch Nairati engaged in his own debacle with Ross Tudell, who's up 5 positions. The number 54 has been very successful on his run currently with a net gain of 5. He hopes to hold on to some of those positions throughout this run. There's a move. It'll be a good-looking move also from the number 32 of Mitch Nairati. Sends it up the inside at Zhengkao, and he gets fully alongside his opponent before trying to execute this overtake. 132.0, the new fast lap, last lap of the race. That one's going to belong to Tyler Finley. No surprise there, as the rest of the field continues to duke it out for the pennies that are left behind. It looks like there was a move there between Gav Cook and Russ Money, but that one ended in tears almost, as the Aston Martin of Russ almost went around, but was able to recover. A little bit of 2x2 situation, and there goes Russ off and wide at turn 4. Up here to this gaggle of cars. Battle from 6th all the way to 11th consists of Pierce Fox, Amit Pastrana, Gav Cook, Michael Trost, Juan Cruz, Colin Baker, and Jake Almond. All in this little train right now as we look at Juan Cruz and the 444. Casey Grant trying to chase down Ross Tudell up the road. They're going to go side by side in towards turn one through the Senna S's. And will be a little lead for the McLaren driver, and the Porsche 54 seemingly backs out. Tudell wanted no part in that argy-bargy action this early in this race. 6 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock of the 45 that we have remaining. Things are quieting down just a little bit now. Not back here, though, as it looked like Daniel Serpak was trying to go for a move on Dave Sefarth in the number 90. But it didn't work out well as he almost went a little too deep. Speaking of in too deep, that might be Tony going a little too deep, just like our good friend. Nope, that's not Tony. That's Ross Tudell in the 54 that went off, and he'll lose a handful of positions. That'll be Tony McAnally and Casey Grant getting through. Trost and Cruz continue their fight through turn 4, and Cruz goes a little bit into the racing line of Trost. But the 177 keeps on trucking. No harm, no foul. It was just a tiny touch there. Riding on board with Trost. Coming down the hill through the Senna S's with Trost. The curved sparks fly from the bottom of Juan Cruz's Porsche as it bottoms out a little bit, coming over the curbing. Here's the run through turn 4. Critical exit again to get just pitch perfect. Ross Tudell leading Tony McAnally. And Daniel Serpak riding on board with Tudell. He gets a touch from the back. And that'll send Tudell round, and his race just went sideways. Because of that, McAnally has to duke it out with Andy Jackson, who's still recovering through the field, down 13 positions currently. But on a warpath to try to get more, as he is one of the championship top 5. Number 97 was in second place coming into the championship. Who knows where things will fall for him on the way out. Take a look at where our top 5 are right now. Well, Finley in P1 for the championship is in P1. Jackson running in P16, trying to make that P15. Morgantino not here tonight. Alex Hansen running in 3rd, and Parkins running in 2nd. So the championship fight continues to heat up, but it looks like it might be Finley's to throw away at the end of the week. Further back, McAnally has Daniel Surback in his crosshairs right now. I put 2 Porsche drivers nose to tail currently. Gav Cook continues to battle all around Juan Cruz. The Pollos Hermanos vehicle looks to the inside, finds some daylight there, but forces Gav Cook to the green runoff area. And the British Airways car catching some air. More battles continue to brew. Gav Cook, Juan Cruz, Michael Trost, and Colin Baker close down this pack to include 6 drivers. Colin Baker, number 12 Ford Mustang, has a gain of around 7 on his charts currently. And Trost with a gain of just 1, trying to double that with Gav Cook right up the road. Triple Four tries to break the toe that he's been giving Gav Cook down the main straight. That's to no avail. Gav Cook follows through anyways. The 117 getting a little squirrely in that Corvette. Now looking at the inside at turn 5. A bit of a difficult place to overtake, as it's just a kink that leads into Ward 6 in the heavy braking zone of 7. Oh no, and there's a crash from Michael Trost, and he's clipped twice on that occasion. See if we can get a replay of what happened to Trost here. The Trost in the 117, was he helped from behind, or did he? I think he may have touched the car in front, and that's what caused the incident. And then the Aston Martin clips his front nose. Russ Money McMillian not getting the best of luck out of that situation. Casey Grand and Andy Jackson toe around Michael Tross now. As their battle brews, they'll continue to lose time, and Trost will be able to pick up the pieces if things go wrong, as the McLaren dukes it out with the Ferrari. Amut Vistrala has had a pretty quiet race thus far. 3 positions gained, driving the number 88 to 4th place, just outside the podium. But can see Corey Pastro right there in front of him, the number 91 Prime, to be overtaken. The AMGs have just been so fast recently and well balanced this season. A lot of drivers have relied on its consistency to get them to the checkered flag. The Mercedes-AMG GT3 is a 6.3 liter naturally aspirated V8. Power is about 550 horsepower or 542 brake horsepower. Front engine rear wheel drive with a top speed of 180 miles per hour, 0 to 60 about 3 seconds. The Mercedes is one of the most stable and confidence-inspiring GT3 cars on the platform. Because of its strong stability under braking, it makes it stable in traffic, and it's friendly over a full race distance, like we're simulating here. The only downside to the AMG is that it can feel heavy in tight sectors. As I've said before, the Mercedes is the hammer. It may not dance around like an Audi or a Ferrari, but it pounds out consistent laps and gives drivers confidence when the pressure builds. Things quieting down a little bit here for the degenerates. Pierce Fox looks forward to trying to catch up to Alex Hansen. 4/10 the gap between the two drivers currently, but it's gonna slinky back and forth. Last lap around, 32.6 for Hansen, 32.5 for Pierce Fox. That was actually his personal best of the event also. .32.0 from the leader as they cross the line, and 32.5 from Barkin, so no chance of cashing as he's half a second slower. A 32.1 from Cruz, though, does show that he has some momentum to pick up the pieces that are left along the way. The TSR tree service of Pierce Fox, running in 6th place currently, has a net gain of 2 positions. And chases down Alex Hansen right up the road. In the head-to-head, it says that he's gaining a considerable amount per lap. As on lap 11, Alex Hansen made a mistake that cost him around 6.5 seconds. Alex Hansen chases down Vestralla. Can Vestralla hold on to this potential podium? They've lost a significant amount of time to Corey Pastro in 3rd. What about Casey Grant, Gav Cook? They go wheel to wheel as Gav makes a trip down pit road for some reason. That might have been a drive-through penalty for the number 69. Daniel Serpak locked in his battle with Dave Seyfarth ahead. Gav Cook putting the windshield wipers on, clearing the debris from his field of view. He can chase down another fellow McLaren up ahead. Vestralla finds a little bit of time on that last lap as the pressure builds from behind him. 32.2 being a personal best for him. Gav Cook is going to blink first and come down pit lane. Mitch Nairati does the same. Let's see how this works out for Gav Cook. Is he able to stay ahead of the Corvette of Trost? There comes Trost. The side-by-side right now is settled as Gav Cook steps just barely in front of Trost. Is that going to be enough to settle this debate? We still have about another 20 minutes left on the clock, folks. Where's the time gone? I just realized we're already halfway through this one. Vestralla goes a little bit too deep at turn 1, crosses over the grass, has rejoined right behind Alex Hansen, and he rejoins alongside Pierce Fox, who doesn't need to be invited twice to that conversation. Will take the free position as it sits, goes a little defensive, tries to keep blocking the 444 from behind, and keeps them back steadfast. Estrella in the 88. The long way around the outside at turn 6 is a little scary, don't you think? Turn 7 looks all right. Turn 8's braking. You got to get the move done before you get to the infield. Otherwise, you'll result in something like that. The 444 getting the worst of it there from Amrit Vestrala in the 88. Colin Baker comes down pit lane. This is the battle between Jackson and Nairati. Coming out of Junkow. He nose to tail between them. Coming down the front stretch, it'll be side by side between the Ferrari late on the brakes, and the Corvette has no steam to put up with that. Pit lane opens up for Finley also. Let's see if he gets it right or if it all goes wrong for him and he potentially throws away the race. Let's see. Finley has the first pit stall there. Alex Hansen, Jake Almond coming down pit road also. Finley nails the pit stop. Pit exit looks all right as well. And no black flags to boot, so Finley should be in the lead of this race when the cycle is complete. Traffic giveth, traffic taketh away, as Amrit Vestrala and Pierce Fox have to deal with Zawiska. Gav Cook slings by Casey Grant in the battle for 12th and 13th. Andy Jackson recovers more positions and gets by Jake Almond back up into the 9th for Jackson. Late call for Amrit Vestrala to come into the pits. Oh no, and Juan Cruz in the 444 misses his pit box. Had to back up, and that might take him out of the top 10. Vestrala cycles back to P6 behind Alex Hansen by around 2.5 seconds now. Dave Sefarth in the number 90, down 3 positions currently. Last lap around coming out of the pits, 1:59 pit lane time, 34 seconds, and a 13.5 second stop. Pierce Fox on pit exit. Should be clear of Umwith Vestrala. Or is he now? Because there comes Umrith. And it's going to be tight between him and Fox. Umrith Vestrala trying to go the long way around the outside at 7 and into 8. No doing on this occasion. Right in the gearbox of the BMW Pierce Fox. Fox in a little bit of trouble right now. Alex Hansen doing the work to find himself a podium in front of Corey Pastro with a well-executed pit stop that was around 2 seconds faster than the run of Pastro. Our championship top 5 are looking pretty right now. Finley's in P1, Jackson's in P9, recovering there. And our third place of Morgan Dino not here tonight. Alex Hansen in 4th should bump himself up into 3rd, if not maybe 2nd. And Barkins in 5th. Well, if Barkins stays in 2nd, Alex Hansen gets bumped up to 3rd. That makes sense to me. Check out the timeline of Colin Baker. He gained all of his positions there at the start of the race before we got to lap 5 even. Russ Money McMillian has had a tragic one, being involved in a few incidences this event. Took the repairs there early on in his event. Ooh, Umrith Vestrala goes for that move on Pierce Fox, the side-by-side through 7 and 8. Gonna be close between these guys. Elbows out racing. A little flick there from the 88. Gets the car rotated just in the nick of time in front of the BMW. Now it looks like Pierce Fox tries to find the long way outside line. Does it end up working for him at turn 10? What are he doing coming down and towards turn 1? Less than 10 minutes left on the clock. As we go into the final 5, I don't know your predictions. Who do you think is going to end up in that top 5 for the championship when the race is done? Little battle up the road here between Daniel Serpak and Dave Sefarth. Dragging along Casey Grant and Michael Tross. The 2x2 is gonna be on coming in towards turn 4. Serpak defends Dave Sefarth from behind, and Tross gets the move done on Casey Grant. Juan Cruz and Andy Jackson continue their battle from earlier on in this event. Battle for 6th and 7th involves Jackson as well, as he gives a little kiss there to Pierce Fox. Now he's gonna lick of the stamp and send it around the outside. Can he make this one work coming into turn 8? Late on the brakes for the BMW, and the Ferrari follows suit there, and he's gonna, wow, what an overtake from Andy Jackson. Now, what could Jackson have done in this race versus Tyler Finley? Did Finley potentially have his number out for him? And Jackson could have been it tonight. The lap times were looking good for Jackson also, even when he was battling, so definitely could have been his evening had things not gone wrong for him through the first stint. Three wide coming out of the center S's. The Corvette leads the McLaren. And it's still unsettled right now. Trost, Grant, Dave Sefarth. Going into the final 5. Everybody is fighting for any point that they can grab. Here's Fox, no! Involved with a huge incident. See if we can see what happened. 24 and the Mustang, a little tap there, and that's not the way we wanted to see that battle. And unfortunately, the stewards are gonna have to deal with that one. And thankfully, I'm not one to have to make calls around the racing incident like that. That's a hard one to call. Pastro, right behind Alex Hansen. With the traffic up ahead, is it enough for Pastro to get back into podium? 3 minutes remain on the clock as the leader crosses the line. So it should just be 2 more laps. This one plus 1 more. 390 tries to find room to get around the back marker up ahead. Be able to do so by going over to the pit wall. 390 defends, coming down into turn 1 to 91. AMG tries to go the long way through the center S's, and they might touch at the bottom of the key, but Hansen pulls out all the stops in front of Pastro. Pastro chases down Hansen for the podium as we go on to the final lap of the race. Barney waving the white flag for the drivers right now as we accept it. Tyler Finley has led us from the green flag. Number 23 hasn't really been challenged this evening. I'm still wondering what could have happened if Jackson hadn't made that one tiny mistake in this event. Ryan Barkins, though, only 1.7 seconds adrift. We all know traffic could have played a major part in making something happen there. Alex Hansen in 3rd position, was still battling with Pastro. Jackson getting chased down or doing the chasing on Juan Cruz. Cat and mouse game being played on the final lap, but taking the checkered flag in a few moments' time will be Tyler Finley. Did an amazing job to finish this one out on lap 29. Barney waves it high and proud for Finley, the number 23 BMW driver. Oh no, what happened to Andy Jackson at the end? Someone says in chat, let's see. Jackson. Oh no! The tussle between the 444 and the 97 goes wrong. Finley took the win with Barkins in P2, Alex Hansen in third place. Hard charge there for Baker. Left leg for Tyler Finley, and he took the fast lap also. Corey Faster in fourth, Emmett Vestral in fifth, Colin Baker, Juan Cruz, Jake Allman, Mitch Nairati, Gav Cook, Daniel Serpak, Michael Tross, Casey Grant, Dave Safar, Tony McAnally, Russ Money McMillian, Andy Jackson, Tyler Morgan, Kurt Huber, Mike Brown, rounding out the top 20. Sam Zuiza, Pierce Fox, Christine McConna, and Ross Trudell rounding out the drivers. Let's see if we have any drivers wanting to come in for an interview to talk to us about their race and see how things went. We have a trio of drivers ready to talk to us about how things went. So without any further delay, let's get to talking to them. We'll pull in from the bottom to the top. We'll go Alex Hansen first. Alex, what a tremendous race you had driving that 390 to the podium tonight. 2 positions gained. How'd you do it back from P5?
Hello. Well, first of all, Andy just sent it to the wall. I don't know if he hit the wall or not. And then there was a super hard race against Corey. I'm glad I managed to dive bomb him properly at the start of the race. And then I just was running away as hard as I can.
Yeah, well, once you were able to get past Corey, the battle didn't end there because he was able to catch up to you after the pit stop cycle also. So how were you able to defend? What was the strategy going on through your head?
There was actually a little incident between us, and he gave me the position back. So thank you, Corey, for that. Super great sportsmanship. And later, that's it. Just running away, trying to keep it as fast as possible. But those tires, oof, not fun.
Right on, Alex. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank today on the podium?
Today, I think just Corey. Great ride, great race. Thank you.
Right on, Alex. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. And as always, stay safe out there.
Bye-bye.
Next up, we'll talk to Ryan Barkins. And Barkins, how did your race go for you? Starting in P2, finishing in P2. Did you get about all the beans tonight?
Tyler's too fast, dude. We need to put some ballast in his car. But no, he's just been faster than me all night. So I knew as soon as he got a gap, I probably wasn't gonna catch him. I'm just glad Andy died. Turn 3. So that way I didn't have to battle with him. Although it probably would have been fun. But no, it was good, dude. It was fun. I was just by myself the whole time though. So it was probably a little boring, but
it was a little quiet of a race. I was hoping that for the sake of the stream, at least, Andy Jackson would have caught back up, or wish he hadn't just spun to spice up that fight at the front as well, because like you described, he would have given you a run for your money and potentially even Tyler.
Yeah, if he would have been there to draft on the straightaway, I think we probably would have caught Tyler and made things interesting. But man, this track's hard. It's really difficult, and it takes a lot of concentration the whole time. Like there's really no place to take a break. So just a tiny mistake on the first lap, and he caught some oversteer in the worst place and didn't make it. But yeah, I agree. I wish it was a little more interesting.
All good though. That's the way of the road. Sometimes she goes and sometimes she don't. On the P2 tonight, Ryan, is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, my family, of course, for always supporting me. And then I'm going to pull a Gav Cook because he did it last week. I want to give a shout out to Evan, even though he's not here. I beat you. Good night.
Right on, Ryan. Thank you very much. Have a good night and be safe.
You too, brother.
Next up, we'll pull in Tyler Finley, the winner of the race, and the number 23, who drove it pitch perfectly this evening. Even through the pit stop cycle, had no one to contend with him. Tyler, how'd you pull it off this evening?
To be honest, I have no idea. I think Ryan and Andy got into a little bit of a kerfuffle early in the race, which kind of made my life a little easier. But it was just a pretty smooth race all around. I had to worry about Ryan a few times, but got it done in the end.
Sure did. Were you worried at any point in time that Ryan had your card called? Because at the end of the race, he was only 1.7 seconds back.
Yeah, there was a few moments there where I thought he might catch me. I think in a couple of laps, he probably would have got within the draft at least. My tires were really shot at the end. I just kept trying to keep them at a fair distance, but I would try to keep my tires cool, and then he'd get closer. I gotta start pushing a little. It was just a back and forth, but luckily I got it done with about 1.3. It looks like until he caught me.
Yeah. Was a great run from the both of you guys. Well, a great run from everybody tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the win tonight, Tyler?
Yeah, of course. I want to my wife Christine, my daughter Murphy, my best bud Jake Allman, who finished P8 tonight. Real proud of him. Austin as well, who's watching live at watching the stream live at Jake's house, and of course Degenerate Race League as well for putting these on. These are a lot of fun.
Right on, Tyler. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Have a great night. Thank you for supporting the Degenerate Race League. And have a good night and stay safe, brother.
Thank you. You too.
I see no more in the broadcast booth, folks, and that's going to wrap things up for us here. On behalf of the Degenerate Race League, I want to give my gratitude to all the drivers that showed up and showed out tonight. 24 drivers took to the grid. 24 drivers took the checkered flag at the end of the day. It was a great show. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I've been your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag on behalf of the Degenerate Race League. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.